Hi, this is PR Sundar. So, welcome to this special episode where we are going to talk about the gold loan, Boon or Bane. The first thing is that I've been giving a lot of interviews to Tamil channels. Somehow I feel that the North Indian channels have not recognized me. Whenever we talk about the people will say, "Sir, why you are dividing North India, South India?" But definitely, we feel that so they are neglecting us. Okay, just to give you one example, right? I gave 50 lakh donation to Prime Minister in 2020. There is another movie actor has given same 50 lakh donation. That movie actors with the photo, with all the news, it has come as a big news in one news channel which is related to stock market. That movie actor nothing to do with the stock market. But I gave donation of 50 lakh that was not even came as a one line news in that channel. And a channel which is dedicated to stock market, they're neglecting the people who has done something big and then going after the movie actors, right? So let us forget all those things, so we have nothing. So we don't do charity just because of the because we can get into the news. So charity has its purpose. That's a different story. Forget about charity, even any other thing also. The people that totally neglect. But in Tamil Nadu, media is not like that. A number of YouTube channels, number of television channels, even they call me for debates also. So now I'm getting slowly into all, jack of all arts and master of none. So I start giving my opinion about stock market. I start giving my opinion about gold. I start giving my opinion about politics, social justice, etc., etc. So I hope some North Indian channels will be watching and they will invite me. Okay. Now, recently, I've given a lot of interviews about the gold and, most of those videos have done exceedingly well. And the people requested me, sir, why you are giving only in Tamil, so we follow you from other states, Then I thought maybe at least some videos, maybe I can shoot it in English. So this is first such thing. Recently, what has happened, there were a lot of changes with respect to gold loans by RBI. So the one that came few days before is, I can say a deadlier one. So some changes, of course, they brought 9 changes, so we are not here to discuss all the 9 changes, but at least some important changes we can discuss. The number 1, so they said the loan to value ratio should not be more than 75%. So which means that, so if you pledge your gold for, a gold value is 100 rupees, you cannot get loan for more than 75 rupees. In fact, that rule was already there. Right. Usually what happens, if you have a gold worth 100 rupees, you go to bank, they will give you only 75 rupees loan. But some people need more money. So what they will do, instead of going to the bank, they may go to some NBFCs like Muthoot Finance, Manappuram Finance, like that. And there they make it slightly higher, like 80 rupees or 85%. But their interest rates will be higher. But some people who are desperate, they want even more, they can get even 90%, 95%, but they have to go to individual money lenders. Like in Tamil Nadu, we say Sed Kadai, the individual people who are lending money against the gold. What happens when the government comes hard on this loan to value ratio to the banks and NBFCs? Remember, it's the banks and NBFCs, they come under RBI regulation. The individual people, they don't come under RBI regulation. So when they put so much condition on RBI regulated entities, then in a way, this is forcing the people to go to the individual money lenders. But that they'll be getting, loan at a very, very high interest rate. Typically, the banks may charge 9 to 10% interest. NBFCs may charge 12 to 13% interest. The private lenders will charge anywhere from 22 to 24%. And sometimes, they even charge 30%. So, the regulation, you should not be too strict also. The regulation should not be too flexible also. So, there must be a moderate regulation. So, if everything is loose, then there is no need for regulation. But if everything is tightened, it will not give a desired impact. Now, what is new in the recent regulation is that the loan to value ratio is not, calculated at the time of giving the loan. So, it is calculated based on the return value. Say, for example, if you are taking a loan for 1 year, you are expected to return only after 1 year. So, let us say, even if you take for 100 rupees worth of gold, you take 75 rupees as the loan. After 1 year, along with interest, it will be 85 rupees. And that is not allowed. So, after 1 year, when you do the repayment, that should be within 75%. So, that means, the banks and NBFCs will not likely to lend more than 65%. Remember, the gold loan portfolio in India is roughly about 1 lakh crore. So, this 1 lakh crore portfolio is in an organized sector. Unorganized sector may be equivalent. So, maybe about 2 lakh crore. So, this rule will be affecting the regulated market of about 1 lakh crore. Okay, but this, rule is not really very bad. But what is very, very bad, now they say for the gold that you are giving to the banks or NBFCs for pledging, you have to provide the source. You have to provide the bills. But tell me, how many people will be having the bills for the gold? Just yesterday, I went to a shopping mall. I bought few things. Right? Come back today, I find that, one biscuit packet, the expiry is over. So I want to return it to the shopping mall. The bill I lost. So what we buy yesterday and day before yesterday, we don't keep the bills properly. But what you bought 20 years, 30 years before gold, who is going to keep all those bills? Now they say if you go to the bank and give the gold for, pledging, they'll say you have to provide the proof that this gold is really yours. And how to provide? The first thing is, my grandfather's father has given to my grandfather has given to my father has given to me. If I'm having some family hereditary gold, where is going to go for the bill? How to reach my grandfather's grandfather, right, to get the bill? And many people, like during the marriage, the bride's house, they give some gold to the girl. Let us say the girl come to you, after some time, there's some problem with your in-laws family. You don't talk to them. But now in case of emergency, you want to pledge your wife's gold. Where is the receipt? I don't think that even your in-laws will be having the bills. Right? And there are many people who go abroad. Right? From abroad, they buy some gold. One male passenger is allowed to bring 20 grams of gold, and one female passenger is allowed to bring 40 grams of gold. So like that, they buy the gold abroad, they bring it in India. Then where do they keep all those receipts? And now what is the guarantee that these banks will accept those receipts? So asking for the proof of ownership of the gold is really, really going to be very, very bad. Okay, the people who support this, there is always one group of people who will be supporting whatever the government takes the measure. They say, no, this will reduce the stolen gold being pledged, right? People who are stealing the gold, they know how to get the receipt also, duplicate receipt, because they are in the business of wrongdoings, right? Then what percentage of gold is a stolen gold? Maybe 0.00001. If any gold is stolen and that is being pledged, and then the police is there to take care of them. Why should, banks and RBI should be worrying about this? So this argument is just only purely supporting the government's measure, but there is no substance in it. At any point of time, the RBI has never stated this is the objective. So people who are doing wrong things, they know how to do wrong things for everything else. Right? So, but genuine people. So maybe, and I tell you something funny about our India, especially Tamil Nadu. One of my friends commented, "Sir, I come to Tamil Nadu. Always there is so much of people in the gold shop also. Always I find so much of people in the gold loan shop also." So you find, crowd in both places. The people are keep on buying the gold also. People are keep on pledging also. In fact, if I'm not wrong, I don't have the data. In fact, if I'm not wrong, the gold loan portfolio is highest in Tamil Nadu, in India. So people are crazy about buying the gold also and crazy about getting the loan to tide their economic problems. So if you get into some economic problem, you need money for short term. The best way is to get the gold loan, which you get it in half an hour, 1 hour time. There is no other loan you get it so fast. For lenders also, it's a fully secured. So now, I'm just giving you an example. The wife may be saving a little bit money without knowing to the husband. And she might buy some earrings or some small chain like that, In case of emergency, she go to the shop or bank, they ask for the proof. You think she can get the proof and keep it in the house? So one day the husband see that you will get into trouble. And then you may see, say the chain or earring, if the husband see what will happen. These ladies, what we know, the gents, we don't know anything. We think that that's a duplicate gold. So she can simply say, no, this is a duplicate gold. This is not the real gold, right? So, you will never know, right? So, I remember this small story. This is just for fun, and by no means it is disrespecting women. So, moreover, this story is not an Indian story. It's a foreign story. It's just purely for fun, right? And then, one husband and wife will be traveling in a cruise ship, and another man will also be traveling. So this husband, that other man, they will get into some kind of argument. The other man will say, your wife's diamond necklace looks really very nice. Then this husband say, no, that's not a diamond necklace, it's a duplicate. And then this man says, no, it is not duplicate. I know, I'm an expert in diamond. This is a real diamond. This is really very, very expensive. So that man will say, no, my wife's, she bought it from a local shop. It is a duplicate diamond. It's not a original one. So what is a bet? Okay, like, $1,000 bet. So then as soon as the ship reaches the shores, we will go to a shop, we will testify. Okay, so if it is a real diamond, the man wins. If it's a duplicate diamond, the husband wins. Right? So what happens when this man will go to sleep in his cabin? So next day morning, he will find there is one small cover. So in his room, he will open the cover. So there will be a $2,000 money will be there with a note. So please, cancel the bet with my husband. So even if you win from my husband, you will win only $1,000. Now I'm giving you $2,000. So this is just for fun, Actually, that lady has actually bought the original diamond without knowing to the husband. Now, if it is going for testing, they will come to know that it's an original diamond. Then the husband will ask question, how come you got so much money? So in order to avoid that, she pays him $2,000. So like that, this is just for fun, but generally people like ladies, house ladies, they saves a little bit money without knowing to the husband. They buy some small jewels. So probably what RBI could have done, say for example, when it comes to income tax, up to 12 lakh rupees per annum, you don't pay tax. So beyond 12 lakh, you pay the tax. So there is some exemption. So like a GST, first 20 lakh, you don't pay GST, but beyond 20 lakh, you have to register for GST. Something like that, maybe first 2 lakh or 5 lakh rupees, you want to get a bank loan against the gold. then no questions is asked. The moment you want a loan beyond 5 lakh rupees, maybe you have to provide the proof of ownership of your gold. Otherwise, somebody bringing, a small earring, a small chain, worth, like 10,000, 20,000 rupees, you want to get a loan. For that also ask for a proof of ownership. That's going to be very, very difficult. And now the next part. Now they say the RBI rule, the banks or NBFCs, so we'll have to check the purity of the gold and they have to provide a certificate. Now, the question is that if NBFCs or banks are providing this service, who is going to pay for this service? I don't think NBFCs or banks will be absorbing this cost. So that will be passed on to the customer. Now, another very big thing. For a long time, what, people like government, RBI, and then, people like financial influencers like me, what we have been telling, the money that we are spending, foreign exchange, we are spending the foreign exchange majorly for two things. One is for importing crude oil, the other one is importing gold. So we are spending so much money for gold. So that is draining our foreign exchange reserves. So even the government tells, please don't buy the gold. That's why they came out with an alternate investment idea, something called sovereign gold bond. And the government of India lost a huge amount of money in that. That's a different story. So, when the people bought sovereign gold bond, the gold was trading around 2,500 to 2,700 rupees per gram. Then it shot up to 8,000 to 8,500, even 9,000 also. I think now it's close to 10,000. So, they had to pay 3 times, 4 times the money that they collected. And the government of India has not done any hedging. So, hedging is very, very important. So, the government of India learned this. The people, who are formulating the policies, they never expected. So, the only question comes, if the people are buying, that means you are selling. The government of India is selling. So, how can you sell without having any hedges in your place? This is just like short selling in the market. How can you short sell? Then market shoots up. What will you do? What is your hedge? Did you buy any call option? Or at least did you sell some put option? So the government of India must have consulted some experts in this field. Right? They would have done the proper hedging. So the government of India itself lost heavy amount of money. But what we have been telling, as a financial influencers, we sell, okay, don't buy the gold. You buy the gold, you will be spending a lot of money for wastages, making charges, and this and that, But then we say, if at all you want to buy the gold, you buy the digital gold, like gold ETF or sovereign gold bond, like that. So digitally. So it's not the real gold. But now what happens? The RBI says only the real gold, physical gold, that too only in ornaments can be pledged with the bank. So if you have any other gold ETF or any other digital gold, that cannot be pledged. No bank is allowed to give loan against this. That's ridiculous. On one side, you are having a problem of foreign exchange reserves to buy the physical gold. So you want the people to buy the digital gold. On the other side, you say a digital gold you cannot get a loan, but physical gold you can get a loan. So in fact, it should be the other way around. All right. So this is another very big factor. The people trusted the government and trusted the financial influencers. So instead of buying the ornament gold, so they bought a digital gold, but now they are in big trouble that they cannot get a loan. Even the people who are interested in physical gold, what financial influencers like me, we say, no, don't go buy jewelry, right? Where, making charges and other things will be very, very expensive. So if at all you want to invest in gold, so you might buy gold coins or gold biscuits. Now, RBI says gold biscuits, no loan. And gold coins, yes, but maximum 50 gram. Now, you can get a loan against the gold for a maximum of 1 kg of gold. That is fair because how many people will have 1 kg of gold? Not many people. Even if they have, they are going to be rich people. So like if the rich people are denied the loan, so who is going to bother? But you cannot have more than 50 grams as a gold coin. That means the remaining 950 gram has to come through ornament gold. So, so this is another, the people trusted the government, trusted the financial influencers, switched from buying the ornament gold to gold coin, gold biscuits, digital gold. They are all in trouble now. At least the gold coin, okay, 50 grams you can pledge it. But other things, gold biscuits and other things, is a trouble. So these are all the things, in my opinion. So at least they should have, they should have exempted the poor people and middle class people from this. And then this should have been applied only to people who are borrowing a huge amount of money through the gold loan. So even the Tamil Nadu opposition leader, Edappadi Palaniswamy, who is having an alliance with BJP, so he himself has spoken against this rule. So he said that no, this rule has to be taken out. So this rule is affecting the middle class and lower class people of Tamil Nadu. So let us hope RBI does something about this. First, let us try to understand what is the rationale behind RBI doing all these things. Now, what happens in 2008? The Lehman Brothers collapse came. The markets crash all over the world. The US economy get into very big trouble. So as and when economy gets into big trouble, the interest rates goes down in the economy. So US is very famous to bring down the interest rates to zero. So they brought interest rates to zero during Lehman Brothers collapse. They brought the interest rate to zero during coronavirus. And then what happens? When the interest rates are brought to zero, people have no incentive to keep the money in bank. Because you keep the money in bank, you are not going to get any interest. At least you put the money in gold, even if it appreciates 1-2% over a period of 1 year, that's going to be a gain only. So the cycle is like this. Economy is in big trouble, interest rates will go to zero. Interest rates go to zero, the money will flow into gold. Then as and when the economy stabilizes, the interest rates will go higher. So that time the gold prices may go down. I'm talking only about the gold price in international market. So that has nothing to do with the Indian market. Indian market, the gold price is decided by 3 factors. One is the international price and 2 is exchange rate, Indian rupee versus US dollar, and the third is a local taxation. Right now, the import tax is about 6% plus 3% GST, 9%. Earlier, it was 15% import tax plus 3% GST, so 18%. So about 1 year, 2 years before, when I checked the prices in Dubai and Chennai, there was a difference of 18%. So if they say 18%, 20% difference, that became a good incentive for the smugglers to smuggle, right? So that's why, we always say, the taxation in a country, how it should be. And the taxation should be like, honeybee is taking honey from the flower without any damage to the flower, without any pain to the flower. But in India, taxation is high, so high, and how the taxation looks in India, it's like, how a sugarcane juice is extracted from the sugarcane machine, right? So, when the taxation is so high, that became a real incentive for the people who are smuggling. So we have seen so many news, right? About a few years before, there was a 30 kg of gold smuggled in Kerala, using the United Arab Emirates, consulate. And then we have seen one actress in Karnataka smuggling 14 kg of gold, the time she was caught, she smuggled so much. We don't know how much more she smuggled in her, a previous time. She kept coming to Dubai 4 to 5 times a month, right? So like people like us, we are honest people. We don't make use of this Dubai where we come here, we spend money. But these people make a lot of money. Of course, when they're caught, they're in jail. That's a different story. So the taxation is so high, the smuggling will be more. So finally, they reduce the tax. Now let us come back to the main topic. So in 2013, what has happened? After the Lehman Brothers collapse, things, settled. So the then chairman, Ben Bernanke of US Fed. So he said one day, we are going to raise the interest rate. Then immediately, markets crashed all over the world. The gold shot up 10%, the gold fell 10% in one day in 2013. So if you want, you can just go and type a taper tantrum in Google. So you will know all these things. In just one day, the gold has fallen 10%. Now, clearly RBI feels, the gold prices have shot up so much. So because the gold prices shot up so much and the value of the gold shot up, so the people can get more loans from the banks. Then, if something like taper tantrum, the gold prices falls for one other reason, that can create a problem in economy. Right? The RBI is worried about the middle class and lower middle class people, but the RBI never worried about the government of India. When the government of India kept on selling the gold at the lower price, 2,500 to 2,700 rupees per gram through the sovereign gold bond. So RBI has never advised the government, what will you do if the gold prices shoot up? Now the RBI is thinking, what will you do if the gold prices crashes? Right? But then anyway, so that, the systemic problem will come, only from the money borrowed at the big ticket loans. Like small people, poor people, who are getting 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 loan, that's not going to affect them much. Right? So the RBI's concern is that very, very clear. So something like taper tantrum, the gold prices crashes, it should not create any economic instability. So that's why they are putting in a lot of restrictions. But I always say, most of the time the government officials do with the right intention, but it doesn't, create the right impact. So my famous story, I always tell in Tamil channels, I'll tell you the story. Once upon a time, in Delhi, there were a lot of snakes. Right. So that was a British period. So the British government, they thought, how to get rid of the snakes. So they announced a scheme. Okay, tell the people, kill the snake, bring it to us, we will pay you some money. So then the government thought, just for the sake of money, people will go after all the snakes. They will kill all the snakes and they will get some money. So then after some time, the Delhi will become free of snakes. And after some time, when the government officials went to visit some houses, they found that the people are breeding the snakes, right? So, the people breed the snakes, so they can get more snakes, they can get more money from government. So this has happened really. People tell this story just to tell the fact that, the government sometimes do with the right intention, but, the impact is not right. The impact can go the other way around. Similarly, there's another country, if I'm not wrong, it's Vietnam. They had a hell lot of problems because of the rat. So the government thought, how to get rid of this rat problem. So they tell the people, you kill the rat, but, you bring the dead body of the rat, so what to do? So no need to bring the dead body of the rat. You just cut the tail. Okay, dispose the body. Just bring the tail, show us the proof that you killed one rat, we will pay you some money. They thought, for the sake of money, people will kill all the rats. At some point of time, the city will be totally free from rats. And then, after some time when the government officials went, so they saw, so many rats were running around without tail. Right? The people catch the rat, they kill, you are going to get some money, but you don't kill, cut only the tail, give it to the government also, you are going to get the same money. But cut the tail, leave the rat, that rat will reproduce. So in future, he'll get more and more rat, so he'll get more and more tail, right? So, So, like sometimes the government, may be doing with the right intention. Of course, RBI does something, they must be like, politicians can do wrong things, because of some other benefits. But why the government officials have to do something wrong? They don't do anything wrong, right? But they may be doing with some right intention, but it may give some negative effect. So clearly, this RBI policy is definitely going to give a negative effect. So what RBI can reconsider, number one, this proof of ownership, you can exempt the small ticket loans, maybe like 2 lakh or 5 lakh, up to that, you can exempt it. So only for big ticket loans, you can ask for the proof. So that's number one. And number two, checking the purity and this and that, either, they can say they can give it up, or they can say that, the institutions have to bear that cost. So otherwise what will happen, and now the gold loan portfolio will go down in the organized sector, the gold loan portfolio will go higher in the unorganized sector. So the individual money lenders now will have upper hand. Already few months before there was a rule that said, after 1 year, you have to pay the full amount. You have to get the jewels back. The next day, if you want, you can repledge it. But somebody who is still having a financial problem, why not he pay interest? They just continue for another 1 year. Now you tell him to bring and pay the money, then he has to go to a private lender just for 1 day rotation. Those private lenders will be asking for more money. So just like the snake problem in Delhi and then rat problem in Vietnam, so this is going to give clearly, not going to give the desired effect of what RBI has thought. So this is just my view. So my view can also be wrong. How government of India's view has gone wrong with respect to gold price and like RBI, some of the rules. I can also be wrong. I'm just voicing my concern. So hope you enjoyed watching this